Alright, the final little video here of the conditional operator or conditional statement not operator unit. We're going to discuss the final one. And this, to demonstrate this, I'm going to open up the else if file yet again. You don't have to, but just take a look what I'm showing here. As you can see, you have if value equal 5, if it's equal to 4, if it's equal to 3. And you could continue to do this in theory. You could check 500 different numbers. You will get laughed at among any other programmer who has the slightest decency with organizing code and doing things efficiently, but you could check every single value until it hits it, right? However, this is not what's done. You don't have 5,000 lines of code checking. There's ways of making things a little bit more efficient for the programmer. So a statement was developed just to check numbers. Keep that in mind. It will not check text or any other data type, just the integer value. Numbers, clear number, that's it. So this, it's not called a then statement or an if number dot else statement. It's actually called a switch statement. Like a switch. I spelled that right? Good. Very good. Switch.php. Follow us. We'll make this file together. Woohoo. I'm going to open this up and I'll show you how this is done. The switch statement's actually one of my favorites, I'd probably say, because it saves so much time in the end. PHP tags. I love typing those tags. Value equals 7. And what the switch basically does is it takes your else if and it changes the if into a switch. Just like this. You do switch, you have your condition, and there's a bit to explain here though. You might be wondering, like when I first learned this, the one thing I was questioning is why learn all of this when you could just use this? It's so much like more self-explanatory, less to memorize. However, this is definitely worth it. You need to know this. It's really useful down the road. So you have switch, and then you put your condition. Or not a condition, you actually simply put the variable, the value here. So you'd put, brackets. Switch value. Your value is currently 7, correct? You put switch value, and you'll notice that you can't simply put echo whatever. And you might be wondering, where's the condition? This is conditional statements. Why did you just put a variable saying switch 7? Nothing here. Well, what actually happens is switches operate on something known as cases. So inside, picture, have you ever seen the game show Deal or No Deal? They have all these different cases with numbers in them. It's conveniently very similar to this unit, so I'm going to use that as a reference. So you're going to put this, case, and then you're going to put a number to check. So say, just for demonstration, let's put 5, like in the other video, just to show how you can convert this code to this code. So I'll type it out quickly first. You have case 4, and then you could have case 5. Like I said, picture Deal or No Deal, or if you haven't seen the show, picture like different cases and all that stuff. You're trying to select which one has the big money in it. Your value is 6. Alright, so what this is basically doing is you're feeding the value into this little function, conditional statement, and all that. And then with the case keyword, you will feed the different numbers that it could possibly be, the different values. So here it's saying else if value equals to 4. Whereas here you're just putting, here, my number's 5, and then you're going to check, is it 4? Echo this. Is it 5? Echo this. Is it 6? Echo this. So let's give this a shot. Let's go open up the page. Conditional statements, switch.php. Oh, what happened here? This is a completely surprising error that I was not expecting at all. You can tell by my monotone voice. Anyway, value is 5, value is 6. Well, wait, no it's not. It can't be two numbers at once. We're going to check here. Why is it saying the value is 5 and the value is 6? Well, what's happening here is unlike an else if statement, where if it'll find something, it'll say else if the value is 4, and then it'll echo this, if this is the case, it'll ignore all this extra code, right? But a switch statement, if, for example, if you put value equals 4 in here, and then checked, do you notice the pattern here? What's happening is it is echoing the code here, but it's not stopping. It just doesn't give up. It's like a obsessed lottery or gambler. It's like, put in more money. The more values, you can make more. And it keeps on trying more and more. It's echoing all of the code, even though it already said the value is 4. So a simple way to get around this is using the break statement. And there are a few I'll go over, about 3 to be exact, where in conditional statements they come with these little keywords that help you break out of them, for example. So you simply type break, and just for the sake of being organized, I usually type it up here. You could type it anywhere though, free-form language, magical like that. Break, break, and at the bottom one, you don't really have to put a break, because if your number is 6, so like if your number were to be 6, it'll check, it'll say, oh, the value is 6, print 6, there's no more below those, so it's not going to bother checking. So see you break though now, if we were to check 4, I'm just clarifying and demonstrating that it does work. Here you go. Value is 4, it's not printing out 5 anymore. And let's minimize this so I can see it better. Tired of closing this page, so silly. Anyway, so the value is 4, that's all it prints out now. It ignores this, it says, you know what, I'm done here, I'm out of here, unless you guys pay me some top dollar, I'm out, you know, value is 4, goodbye, and it just walks out. So that's how the switch statement works. Another thing I'd like to acknowledge in the switch, I know there's quite a few things to remember, like I said, you'll have to go over this, practice makes perfect. We're close to perfect, because I'm not perfect, but I practice a lot. So anyway, one of the final things you can do also is you can put default. And default basically works like this. You can give a value and what you'd like it to do. So you can do echo, I need to make sure I remember this, none of the values were correct. See if I'm even doing this correctly. I'm freewinging from a while back when I used to be a wee lad in the world of programming. No, let's save, check. There you go, it works. You simply type default, and this statement, this conditional statement, loves colons. Like, it just loves your colons. You could put default, little colon. Hopefully that's a colon or I look really stupid. But this is what happens after. This is pretty much convert this to else. If you were to write else, don't do that, it's incorrect. But it's just an example. Default is pretty much the else word in an else if statement or whatever that is, whatever you wish to call it. So you do case 4, echo this, break, stop. Case 5, do this, stop. Case 6, echo this. And if none of those are selected, it'll do the default, correct? And the final little thing I'd like to acknowledge is that there is also a continue statement. You could do this, continue. And you notice that when I type that, it turned darker black. Or if I type ASDF, it's lighter. But if I were to type continue, there you go, it gets highlighted, meaning it is an official, registered, awesome PHP keyword. So it doesn't really change anything, but what this does is, later on I'll explain, it allows you to pretty much continue what the code is doing, rather than breaking out. It's the opposite of breaking. There are uses, I won't go over them too much yet. I just wanted to demonstrate that this does work. And I'd also like to show that if you were to feed in, or for example, some actual string data, text, but hello, hey PHP, we're going to save. And see, it still goes to the default by normal, but I'm just acknowledging that just because the default's here is why it works. You can't check if this is a number, it won't work. It'll just glitch up, you'll get a wide variety of different parsing errors and big lines of text saying you did it wrong, you done goof. So I'd just like to go over that. And if you move on to the next video over here, we have our little quiz coming up. I create a little project, I'll go over it. And I hope this description helped you out a bit. It's a little hard to explain switch statements in a short 5, 6, 7 minute video, as this could be a difficult topic for a newbie like yourself. However, I just thought I would dive into the little parts here and go over it. We'll continue to use these throughout my full series, and hopefully you'll pick it up as time goes by. Just keep practicing, never give up, fight the power, it's all good.